So could this be the end for Twitter? We got some breaking news regarding the social media company, and let's just jump right in. You can see this here. Musk says Twitter will limit how many tweets users can read. Yes, you heard that right. There's a limit how many tweets you can read, and it also depends if you're giving them money or not. This is a tweet from Elon Musk. It says here, to address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day. And the verified ones means basically you pay money and you get your little blue check mark. Unverified accounts to 600 posts a day. New verified accounts to 300 posts per day. There's more news regarding this as well. You have to be logged into Twitter to see tweets, and I can confirm that. I don't even have a Twitter account. I deleted it, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. I don't remember. So I can't even see the tweets anymore, which is fine. I can find screenshots of the stuff that I need, and to be perfectly frank, I think it really hurts a social media company if you have to pay to use it. Because the strength of these type of companies, be it a Facebook or Instagram, is that it is free for everyone, and that these things are sort of a growing audience. But by sort of limiting it, I think it makes it really tough. One of the things that I enjoy doing this channel with you all is that we have a lot of people in the community that are very knowledgeable, and so for people who are computer savvy, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what do you think is happening. So Musk is saying data scraping by AI startups is making it tough for, Twitter to function. I think there's a couple things that could be going on. So one, it could be some sort of DDoS attack or some sort of hacking, or just, it could be data scraping, however you want to call it. I think another issue as well, which because I haven't done Twitter news for you guys for a while, is I guess they weren't paying their Google Cloud bill. They just, it says here, Twitter resumed paying Google Cloud. But this was just like June 22nd, so that was like a week or so ago that they started paying again. So they might have had like a slowdown in services, these kind of things. If you remember, they got a new CEO. Was it Lisa Yasserino? I can't remember her first name. I think her name is Yasserino though. And they have to figure out like how much money is coming in, how much money do we need to stay functioning? Because what's really quite interesting, you guys may or not know this, they haven't been paying their bills. In fact, this has been a thing where they didn't. That's the market cap thing, but here it is. They haven't been paying their bills. I guess it was in Colorado office, so they got evicted. This was on June 15th. I'm not sure what's going on with the San Francisco one. Musk made a statement, I guess, to employees that you can read the headlines. Elon Musk told a Twitter advisor at 4 a.m. that the company would only pay rent over his dead body. So basically, he doesn't want to pay rent in San Francisco, and he called the place an S-hole. Meaning a not very nice place to be. One of the things that's going on is they just don't have money coming in. You can see here, this was on June 5th. Twitter's U.S. ad sales plunged 59% as woes continue. And I've said this several times on this channel, right? To run a business, it's not difficult to understand, but evidently for Musk fanboys and fangirls, maybe it is. You need money to come in. you got to pay the lights. You got to pay the electricity. You got to pay your employees, you got to pay the rent, this kind of things. But I mean, I guess theoretically, to be fair, you don't have to pay, but then you get evicted. And it's kind of funny too, because Musk is a big sort of come to the office kind of guy. The reason is, I'm sure you guys know this, he owns a company called Tesla, which makes cars. And if everyone works from home, it hurts his fundamental business over at Tesla. So he needs people to come to the office. Yet in this situation of Twitter, he would be way better off. In fact, if he closed all the offices and had everybody just work from home, because you have a lot of expenses to pay for when you have an office, as you guys know. One of the things I think that might be happening as well is that maybe secretly he's telling people to work from home, or just firing them and don't come in all the office, and simply they're trying to wait till their contracts run out and try to just get out of not paying. So we'll see how that plays out for him. I covered this one a lot, and it's here. Yeah, right here's the one we just talked about, where he paid $44 billion for it. It's now worth $20 billion according to internal memos. And it's funny because that's how we talk about money quite a bit, talk about business, and I think this is going to be a case study that business schools are going to look at for years. And I really want to emphasize, when you guys look at these kind of things, is just use common sense. It's sad because sometimes, and this is not just for Elon Musk situation, but anyone, sometimes you get so enamored with a person, or you don't want to be wrong, right? So you fight tooth and nail, even if, your argument is bad. Meaning, like, for example, fanboys and fangirls will defend, Twitter forever, even when, like, they're losing money, it was overpaid for, the subscribers were leaving, all of these kind of things, and they'll just act like this stuff isn't happening. I mean, I just don't know what to say. And I can't emphasize it enough. Living in reality is extremely important, and also to having a community of people around you that are like also reinforce reality. So that's why I asked you guys, is it as bad as it looks? To me, it looks pretty bad. You're not bringing in money, you're not paying your bills, and now your services are being cut. I mean, how are you going to survive? And also, to be perfectly frank, it's been really entertaining, because like I don't have any stake in the game. It doesn't make any difference to me if Twitter lives or dies. I don't use it anyway. It's always just been a trolling platform anyway. You guys know this. But it's been a really interesting public, sort of look at a tech company, because, the question was, can you fire, it was like 75% of employees or something like that, and still function? And they had been functioning to this point, to be fair to Twitter. So it looks like they did do some over hiring, but, one of the things that, as you can see, that there's less revenue coming in. The other thing too, I always mention with you guys, and I think it's a big one, and I know a lot of the fanboys and fangirls are young, in their 20s, but this is a real thing. When you get older, you actually get tired. It is a real thing. It happens. So Elon Musk is 52. He's a few years older than me. We went to the same school. I don't know him personally, though. However, people in my circles do know who he is. One thing, or know him, I should say, is a better way to say it. But one thing I will say, though, is like, when you're 52, like, how much longer are you going to put up with all the stress of running a company? Bezos is 59, he's retired. Zuckerberg's 39, so Zuck can do it quite a bit longer. But I would say once you start approaching 55, 60, you start thinking about greener pastures and wanting to take a break. Now, you could make the case that Elon is different and he's going to work forever. I just don't think so. I think Twitter was always more than he needed to take on. I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. I mean, you already got your, SpaceX, and you got your Tesla, and that is a boring another one. And you also got 10 kids. You got many, women to appease, all these kind of things. And it's a busy life, right? So why take on Twitter? And I'd said all along, it's so ridiculous. And, remember, he didn't want to buy it in the first place, and the courts basically make him buy it. And then suddenly he starts going on this free speech, campaign and rallying a bunch of, people on the right, and they act like, he's this great crusader. But guys, come on, he's a business person. He's in it for the money, of course. And, this was just a big mistake. I don't know how else to say it. And it's sad because, the headlines are like, man, this guy is just crazy. That's why it's fun to talk about. So evidently he was like tweeting out a picture. He was doing a practice fight with, I don't know this guy. I mean, I've seen him on YouTube a bit. Is it Friedman is his name or something like that? Yeah, Lex Friedman. He's like a big, I think I'm pretty sure he's conservative. I'm sure he would be, podcaster / YouTuber. And then I guess they were practicing fighting. And I guess this guy had fought, or spar is a better way to say it, but it's just so funny. And the reason why, and you guys have been maybe know this before, is there is a real possibility that Zuckerberg and Musk will have a duel in a cage match. However, this is even really funny. So this is a rumor. Who knows if this is true or not? But it's a funny headline. You got to show it to you because it's funny. The Italian government offer fight like true gladiators at the Colosseum. So if it, I don't know if this is true, but I mean, in the world that we live in right now, where it seems like our market is a circus, and we have CEOs talking about fighting, and I mean, why not? If it's a moneymaker for the Italian government and for tourism, why not let Musk get Zuckerberg fight the Colosseum? So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts if you think this is a real or not. This is a headline coming on just a few days ago, but I read through it. It's not confirmed yet. So again, this is a rumor, so don't take it as truth. One of the things I will say, though, is that what's important, especially for anything to do with money and stuff like this, is to always be skeptical, right? Be careful with your money. Be careful with your life as well. And the reason why I mention that is there's always someone out there to sell you something scammy or something like that. And just take a look at this, right? You look at the headline, OceanGate still advertising Titanic bound trips days after Titanic implosion. And this is on July 1st, this article. And you guys know there was the accident with the OceanGate. And, just think about that situation to where a company says, hey, it's, perfectly safe. The CEO's like, it's going to be fine. We're all great. And it didn't turn out so good. So not everything that Elon Musk said is going to be true, the same way that everything OceanGate says is going to be true. And that goes for any company out there, any job, any person. It's not everything works out the way that you want it to be. And, it looks like to me that Twitter is really, really struggling. And this is the ultimate question: will it survive? And so that's why I posed to you, for those in the community who are more knowledgeable about networks and cloud services, these kind of things. What do you think is going on with Twitter? Why would you limit the amount of posts that someone could see? And I'd love to hear, like, if you think Twitter can survive technically, and how does the relationship between money and revenue relate to, say, how a company would work? Because I've heard some people say, and I don't know, their tech skills, but just people in the community will say, oh, well, Chris, you're just too stupid to understand tech. You only need like 2 people to run Twitter and it can run itself. But I think it needs more than that myself. So it's been fascinating that you've hired everyone, and it does still work. However, he's limiting the amount of time a person can be on the platform and wanting to get people to buy their subscription. So love to hear your thoughts on any one of these stories. I do appreciate your time. Please share your input, and I'll catch you in the next video.